Hi class, this is my presentation for the global leader discussion. Actually, I couldn't get someone I could sit down with and discuss have the discussion with, but I have a friend who has so much experience in international business, and as he's a global leader in one of the top companies in the country. So I was able to talk to him on the phone and also send these questions to him. He answered it, and I feel the question, like the way he answered is so insightful. It's like what we've been learning all semester in the class. He gave me from his own perspective and his experience on global discussion, and I feel like it will help each and every one of us on the class, anyone that watches this video, or answer and read the questions. So my name is Moses Ayegba. I'm the interviewer, and the interviewer is Mr. Femi Awojebi, and he's an engineer and project manager for oil and gas for the General Electric company, one of the respective company in the United States, and he has so much insight on global leader, because he worked in so many continents and in so many countries. So my first question to him was for him to give us his name and description of his individual's position. And as I said earlier, his name is Femi Awojebi, and he presently work with he has been working and he presently work with the General Electric company as a steam company, as a steel mechanical engineer and project manager for the oil and gas. He said he has been involved in business in the Middle East, Europe, Caribbean, and Africa as a project manager. Most of it, like he described, like his individual, like most of his responsibility have to be like setting up job, mobilizing resources, and managing the schedule in order to make sure that the project is executed effectively. Like there's like from the description you could tell like he has so much experience like in different continents and in different country. Like he's encountered different culture, and he's like a global leader like in this company that make sure like that manage the work being done there and make sure that project is well executed there. Talking to him, I feel there's a lot of responsibility for one person, but he agreed to that. He said, yeah, it's this, but he has a team that he works with, and we only probably they all share the responsibility, like to manage and execute this project in these different countries. But he's like basically like the team leader, like he's the team leader. He's in charge of managing the team and making sure that everything is well executed to the best of his ability. So I was curious and asking how long has he been in this position for him to be a team leader in such like a big company and a big global organization like General Electric. And he said like he's been working there since 2009, and that's probably he's been working there for like 6 years now. So my next question to him was, could he speak about the path that led to his current position? Is working on an international level something he has planned all through his life or through his career? And he basically gave me an answer like working around the world has been his goal since he's been in college. Like he strives to grow by learning through the process of interaction and cross-cultural communication between individual and corporation around the world. In a world, like he said, talked about like in a world where there's different racial group, ethnicity, religious group, and socioeconomic group, and to be competitive in today's workforce, it is really important that he learn how to establish relationship with people whose group he knows not a little about. That meaning like from what I understand from what he was talking about, or was like the world is changing like right now. Even you in your country, like there's so much interaction between different countries, different culture, and so one has to learn how to work with like a different like racial group, ethnicity or religious group, and ethnicity or religious group. And he said he wanted to be able to see the world and interact with it in other interact with people in other parts of the world, and General Electric gave him the platform to achieve that. So this has been his goal all around, to work with different with different people from different parts of the world, and working with General Electric gave him the opportunity to achieve one of his goals. So I asked him, what are the most rewarding aspect of his job, and he said like the most rewarding aspect of his job is the success of completing a job. I feel like that's like everybody's role. Like once you complete your job, that's what you're talking. And he said during the planning of each assignment, they plan extensively and also hear stories. They take stories from their competitors who failed to launch similar product. They use these stories and this process as a lesson to develop a better plan to make sure they success in this different part of countries where they work, or different communities where they have where they work at, where they have their company is in. So I asked him like, what has he noticed, or any challenges or opportunity working with managers, subordinates, or peers, or customers from different culture. And he basically talked about it like it's very interesting working with peers and subordinates, but the most challenging part is like customers, so working with customers from different cultures or from overseas. Like it was like I would like say he was able to overcome some of the challenges by reading and learning about the culture, and this helped him like in a relationship. This helped him in relationship with these different people from these different cultures and countries. And he also believed that working with people from different culture, that he continues to it's like a continual learning process. It's not something you just like, it's a continual learning process. Like you gain more experience as you continue working with, or as you go to different patterns, you learn about different cultures. And he talked about like he's been doing in the past year overseas assignments, only like listening more to what customers at the host country where he works have to say, and look at the solution from his or her perspective in order to incorporate with his company procedure and come up with a better plan that will make both parties happy and carry out his job without issue. It's like one important thing is not about like working there, is listening to their needs, or like their problem, their situations, and also like coming with a plan that serves those parties right, to make sure like the company's goals are being achieved, and at the same time the people's needs are being met in these different cultures, in these different countries and culture, and so that there won't be any problem or misunderstanding, and to create a peaceful relationship. My next question was saying like for him to think of one or two experience for working with as a global leader, what one or two experience that has lasting impact on him as a manager in an international setting. What happened? What did he learn from it? And he talked about like in a project that he was working with an Italian employee in Pakistan, and during that meeting, the Italian employee would always interrupt whenever someone is trying to make a point. And whenever someone is making a point, and like to some culture, this is rude, like interrupting people, but like he felt the same way that was rude, and he tried like, and so he talked to one of the leaders, and he was made to understand that that their culture made them in their culture it's acceptable for one to interrupt somebody when someone is talking. And like he basically was like what he has learned, that you shouldn't rush to judge people based on what once you don't know them or their culture. You should try and understand them. And being a global leader, like you can't just rush people based on your culture, like your cultural field. There might be cultural shock in different countries you visit, or different people you deal with because of their culture. Well, one shouldn't rush to judge them. To try to understand where they're coming from and put yourself in their shoe. It's like having sense of empathy in order to understand the rationale behind their behavior. And this makes a lot of sense. Like reading from the book, from the books we read in the class, where they talked about like different culture, like the one that talk about the Chinese. You have to invite them to you have to ask them to come into a discussion to talk before they speak. Like different culture have that, like by the Italians, as he said from his experience, it's like they like without even inviting them, they jump into the situation. So this just show how one needs, as a global leader, one needs to understand different culture and different mode of communication of different people in this in different countries, to be able to succeed and able to carry out your business in this different culture. Questions to him was like looking at his experience like with General Electric, like and as a global leader. As a global leader, what can he pass to me, like someone who's aspiring one day to be a global leader? And some of us on the class also, I believe we have the same aspiration also, to pursue a career in like international business. And he basically said one thing I want to pass to us is like, so like someone who desired a part in international business is to learn about the culture and communication style of the host country. And he basically stressed that to me, that that's important. That's one important step in international business, like learning the culture, about the culture of the culture and how to communicate. And he said in different countries, like in countries where you have people of different religion, you have to understand what is regarded as taboo. Basically made me understand it's like what, like as a taboo is like what not to say about somebody's religion, like to be respectful about somebody's religion, to have regard for somebody's religion or culture. And it's important to be respectful to people in their culture. It takes time. Take the time to listen and understand why their culture is important to them, and to work with different people from different culture effectively. You will need to build a strong and caring relationship based on trust. And basically, like he told me, like once there's no trust, there's no relationship, and there's like everything, like the business plan or whatever you're trying to achieve won't work, because once the people don't have that trust in you, that you could serve their need, that you have their best interest in heart, that won't open up to you and they won't accept you into their society or their culture. And so one step for someone to achieve this trust is understanding their culture and taking time to learn the different culture of the different area where you're engaging your business in, and to build this trust. And he basically said, trusting relationship are the glue that hold people together as they work on the common interest on a problem. That like trust brings, is a glue that holds different people. Like once you understand their culture, like they build this trust on you, and so they open up to you. They bring you as feel like it's someone who have, like they know you have like their society best interest, so they allow you into their society to, like they open up to you, and you achieve your interest, and they open up to you to make your work easy and to solve the problem. So basically these are the questions I asked him. Like they were really insightful. It's like going through all the class lecture again from all he talked to me. Like he's someone that has so much experience international, and this what the professor have been teaching all semester, like in the readings we'll be doing, and the assignment we'll be doing, like it's basically like on the different culture, understanding, building trust. Even the books we read, they all talked about this. So this is my presentation. Thank you all for listening.